All right, arriving on your mat, let's take a few breaths just to settle our bodies and feel how you are right now in this moment. And one breath practice that can be a cooling practice, if you have the ability to turn your tongue into a little curlicue to curl the ends up, you can breathe across your tongue. It's a cooling way to breathe. So if you start to feel overheated, that's just a suggestion. And if you can't curl your tongue, you just stick your tongue out and breathe over your tongue. All right. Expand your ribs as you breathe and lengthen up through the crown of your head. Relax your shoulders down your back. And then expand your back. So breathing deliberately into your back body, right back behind the heart, underneath the shoulder blades. Feel if you can access that area. And once you feel connected to the back of your heart, bring your breath and your awareness to the front of your heart, across the chest and the collarbones. Feel the most upper reaches of your lungs fill with breath. And this is the area that we'll be targeting today. Shoulders, collarbones, front and back of heart. So open your eyes, and if you're laying down, sit up and bring the soles of your feet into Backbends. Bring your fingertips back behind you. Lift your chest, take a deep inhale here. And then exhaling, you'll walk your hands forward, draw the shoulders down, and exhale all of your breath out. You can round your back as you exhale. And then walk your hands back behind you. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, have the hands come forward, round your upper back. Let's do that one more time. Walk the hands back behind you. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, hands forward, round your upper back. And release, and we'll go into a side bend here. Press the balls of the feet into each other and pull the toes back. I'll move back so you can see my feet doing that. Walk your right hand straight out from the hip. Inhale your left arm up and exhale into your side bend. Press the feet into each other, bend your right elbow towards the earth and spin your left ribs back. So you are in the side bend, opening up the side body. There's a tendency to twist like I was. Open up instead. Shoulders down. So you have to turn on your legs, turn on your core, lift the chest. And then you can find a comfortable way for your head to be here. Just looking down or to the side. Take another deep breath into that expanse on your left side. And we'll come into a neck release. Take the top arm and reach it back. Let that hand hover above the floor. And you'll get a stretch across the top of the shoulder, the side of the neck for a few breaths here. You can relax your bottom jaw away from the top jaw. Find a comfortable spot, a good stretch. You maybe close your eyes. You can deepen your breath if that feels good to you. If you're getting overheated, you can always use that breath. It's called Sitali breath. And then reaching with the left arm to come up, pick your heavy head up and head out to the second thigh. So you're gonna bend that left shoulder, that elbow, and draw the shoulder down. And reach your breath into your left side ribs, right side ribs. It's been a big day. Shoulders down, lift the chest, expand. I'm mirroring you, that's part of my challenge today. So filling that side body and filling your right lung with breath. So can you feel left to right? There's a little more compression on the left side. Letting your head hang and reach the arm up and over to the other side. Let your head hang and find that neck stretch. A little soft and gentle roll of your head. Do what feels good, breathing into where you feel the stretch. For a little more opening across the chest, take the arm back if that feels good. And then inhale, come up, help your heavy head up, and we'll go into all fours and a cat-cow from here. So starting to move your spine any way that feels really good to you. You can wake up the spine, the shoulders, the hips, take a hip roll, a shoulder roll. You just want to move your body right now, feeling into all directions. And then let's add in a wrist stretch. Tuck your toes under, lean back. Press the tops of your hands into the mat, and you're gonna lean forward and rock back along the length of the wrist a few times. And then you can add on making a fist and doing the same thing. Feeling that roll all the way through. Feel if the fist adds a new stretch. And then come back to all fours. And we'll go into tabletop. So tabletop, spine is long. Draw your arm bones back. Pull the front ribs away from the earth. And then wrap the shoulders. You'll take your left arm and your right leg, lift up. And then exhale, bring the elbow to the knee and pull the belly in. And inhale, reach out. And exhale, curl in. Inhale. And exhale, curl. Second side, take the right arm and the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, curl. Inhale. And exhale. Hand down, knee down, come into downward facing dog. So you'll find your first downward facing dog, and you can roll it out. You can come forward into a plank and back. You might want to bend one knee and then the other, and linger into that Achilles stretch, calf stretch. Just really take your time, deepening your breath, and feeling into what feels good. From here, step your right foot forward between your hands and come up onto your fingertips. So you want to lower your hips towards the earth and really turn on your back leg. So you're lifting your back thigh bone up, draw your belly in, and send your chest forward. So you get really light on the fingertips. You can test that out, lifting your hands up. Really press down into your front foot. Now feel your right hip and draw it slightly back and let your left hip come forward. Take another breath here. Arms are light, fingertips are lightly on the mat. Draw your arm bones back. Now put your left hand down and take a twist open to the right. Spread across your chest and your collarbones. Draw the shoulders down. And feel the length of your spine from the crown to the heel behind you. And then bring that hand down and step back into downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And step your left foot forward. Come on down into lunge. Hips are low, turn on the back leg. Draw your left hip more back and the right hip more forward. Yeah. Arm bones back, send your chest forward. Be light on the fingertips, really turn on your abs. Feel if you can get lighter in the hands. Keep that, put the right hand down lightly and lift up and away as you spread across the collarbones. So feel that connection, like someone was lifting you up from your top wrist a little bit. Shoulders down, lower the hips. Reach back through the back heel. And exhale the hand down and step back into downward facing dog. Slowly walk your hands back to where your feet are, and you'll hang forward in Uttanasana. This is a forward fold. You'll hold opposite elbows, soften your knees, and shake your head out yes and no. And just take a couple breaths here. Allow your body to hang forward. Let your day go, your week. And then release your arms and slowly roll up to stand. We're going to shift to the top of the mat. Walk on up to the front of your mat. And we'll move through some sun salutations together. Stand with your feet hip distance apart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Take your right knee back and put it down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Hands down. Step back to your plank position. Spread the hand bones. Draw the arm bones back, reach back through your heels. Pull your belly in and up. You can keep this straight and strong and lower down, or bend your knees to the mat and slowly lower down. Feel your triceps work the whole way down. Cobra, low cobra. Bring your hands 10 inches in front of your chest and pull your chest forward and up. Exhale, come down and all the way back to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward between your hands, put your left knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down. Step up to the front of your mat. Inhale, ride the breath, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Lunge, left knee back and down to the mat. Inhale, reach your arms up. Hands down. Step back to plank. Exhale, lower. Low cobra, inhale. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Lunge, left foot forward, right knee down. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Step up to the front of your mat. And stay here in a forward fold. Reach back, clasp your hands behind your back. And just roll out your shoulders, breathing into your upper back. And then from here, you're going to release the hands, bend the knees, have a seat, lay down on your back. We're going to go into some abdominal work. So lay down. We'll start with elbow to knee just to free the hips a little bit. Bring your knees over your hips like this, or put your feet down. Inhale, head and shoulder blades up off of the mat. Press the lower back into the floor. Curl your tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right thigh, straighten your left leg. If your feet are down, just bring the right thigh up. Pull the belly down, lift up off of both shoulder blades if you can. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back into the mat, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left, straighten the right leg, and pull the lower belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Rest head into the hands. Breathe your lower back down, curl tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the right, straighten your left leg, pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back into the mat, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist to the left, straighten the right leg, pull the belly down. Inhale, come back to center. Press lower back into the mat, curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist right, straighten left. Inhale, come back to center. Curl the tailbone up. Exhale, twist left, straighten right. Release, come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest and just rock a little bit side to side. Twisted root abdominals, cross your right thigh over the left. If you can get the foot behind the calf and that feels good, do that. Otherwise, really focus into squeezing the inner thighs, squeezing the sit bones, turning on that inner leg line. Clasp your hands behind your head, send your elbows up towards the ceiling. Head and shoulder blades come up. Exhale, curl your tailbone up and squeeze the legs together. and pull your belly down. Send the elbows straight up towards the ceiling. Release your head into the hands. Put the sacrum back down on the mat. Inhale. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up. Squeeze the legs. Curl that tailbone, send the elbows up, pull the belly down. Inhale, rest head into the hands. Breathe into your lower back. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up. Squeeze the legs together. Send the knees up. Pull the lower belly down. One more like this. Inhale, breathe into your lower back. Exhale, scoop that tailbone up. Send the knees up. Pull the belly down. Release your head and shoulder blades down. And now put your hands onto that front thigh. So we'll create an isometric, pressing the hands into the thighs, and the thighs push back into the hands. And you have to do that from the strength and power of your core. So take a deep inhale here. You're not doing anything for the inhale. Then exhale, curl the tailbone up. Press your hands into your thighs back into your hands, and hollow out the belly. Pull the belly down. Inhale, release. Take a breath into your lower back. Relax. Exhale, scoop the tailbone up. Press the hands into the thighs. Push the thighs back into the hands from the strength and power of pulling your belly down, turning on your abs. Do 2 more of those. Inhale. Exhale, go. Soften your neck, soften your jaw. Last one, inhale. Exhale, squeeze the legs together, curl the tailbone up, push the hands into thighs, thighs into the hands, pull the belly down. And then release and unwind the legs. Wrap them the other way, so your left thigh's on top. Clasp your hands behind your head. Inhale, head and shoulder blades up off of the mat. Feel your lower back pressing into the floor. Scoop the tailbone up, send the knees up, squeeze the legs together, pull the belly down. Inhale, rest head into the hands. Breathe your lower back down. Exhale, squeeze the legs together, curl the tailbone up, send the knees up, pull the belly down. Inhale, feel your hips, your pelvis down on the mat. Then exhale, scoop the tailbone up, squeeze the legs together, send the knees up, elbows go up, pull the belly down. Last one, inhale, rest head into the hands, press lower back down. Exhale, curl the tailbone up, squeeze the legs, send the knees up, pull the belly down. And release, unwind the legs, hug your knees into your chest. We're gonna roll forward and back. Just get a little movement through the spine. Your inhale forward, exhale back. Stay in a tight little ball. It should feel good. If it doesn't, just forget about it. Roll to one side and then come up. Come on up to stand again. And step up, feet together or hip distance apart now at the front of your mat. Moving into chair pose. Bend the knees, lower the hips. Shift your weight back to your heels. Your arms by your ears. Plug the arm bones into the arm socket. And then exhaling, stay down low, turn your palms forward and just pull the elbows back as you pull the belly in. And one more time, inhale like this. Exhale, squeeze, shoulder blades back. Inhale. And then this time you're gonna exhale, take your left elbow to the outside of the right thigh into a twist. So from here, you have options. You can open the arms out. You could have your forearm across and your feet a little wider apart. Give yourself a little more room for this twist. 2 more breaths here. Release out of that, come down. You can stay down in your chair. And then exhale over to the other side. Whatever variation you did on the first side, do it again. And release, fold forward. Put your fingertips on the floor or on your shins. Inhale to halfway lift. And step back to plank. From plank, lower all the way down onto your belly. Arms by your side, palms face up. Inhale, lift the feet, the hands, and the heart. Come up. Exhale down and back to downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward into warrior two. Warrior two with archer arms. So in archer, you'll take the right arm up, pat yourself on the back, left fingertips come up, and maybe you grab a strap or a towel back here, or you could just take your left hand to the right elbow. And what you want to feel is a good stretch across your shoulders. And the tendency is to move the rib cage forward, draw the front ribs in, soften front ribs, soften collarbones, deepen the bend in the front knee. Relax your right shoulder and the right side of your neck. And expand your rib cage. From here, you're going to lean into reverse warrior. Take a breath into the stretch that you feel. Keep a solid bend and reach down through your front heel. And then inhale, come up. And exhale, go into extended side angle in this variation, lengthening out, pulling the belly in, opening up your chest. Deeper bend in the front knee as you can. And if at any point this bothers you, go into the regular variation with the forearm here. From here, straighten the front leg and release into triangle pose. So suddenly triangle feels like a little bit of a resting pose. Press into the ball of the front foot, reach into the outer edge of your back foot, spread across chest and collarbones. You can shift your gaze to look up if that looks or feels good to you. Looks good. You can also look down if that feels better. Shoulders down, open up the chest, and create space around your chest and your heart. Release your hands down to the mat, step back to your plank, and exhale, come down onto your belly. For this one, your hands clasped behind your back, drag the shoulders down, lift the feet, lift the heart, and come up. Release, press back to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward into warrior two, archer arms, Gomukhasana arms. Your left elbow is the one that's the top one. And you can bind or grab a strap or a towel or not. You could be here. You have to turn on your core. Draw the lower belly in, lifting those hip points up. Press firmly into the outer edge of your back foot. And then relax that left shoulder and shoulder blade down your back. Sides of the neck are long. Deepen the bend in your front knee. Keep that bend and the connection through your left heel and leaning back. So you're almost leaning up and out. You're not just straight back. Feel for creating more space, more length. And breathe. And then come up and exhale, go the other way. So this is a direct diagonal from the outer edge of that back foot through your top elbow. Open the chest. Feel your core engage. And release. Straighten the leg. Left hand on the shin, triangle pose. Take even deeper breaths if that feels good. Feel free to shimmy and move, free up the shoulders and the chest. And release. Put your hands down on the mat and you'll come back to all fours. We're going to go into dolphin. Dolphin with a couple different variations. So if you don't know dolphin, you can follow along with me. If you know it, you can come on into it. Put your elbows down, shoulder distance apart. Take your hands around your triceps for measurement, and then forearms parallel or clasping the hands. Clasping the hands gives you a triangular base, which is just structurally maybe better on your body. You choose for today. Press
your forearms forward and down. Lift your tail and your sit bones up. Spin your inner thighs back. Now, fill your back body. So you'll notice that I went out of my back bend and lifted up a little bit to broaden my upper back and the space between the shoulder blades. You want to keep the space between your shoulder blades really broad. Relax your neck. Press forward and down through the forearms. Squeeze elbows towards each other. Now you can take your right leg up and back. If you're still with me, you're going to reach that leg up and back. Find to come in and out. Find to put the knees down and then come back into it. You find your strength. You can also do this from the knees. If you've got that right leg up, we're going to take the first toes, the big toe and the second toe, and hook them around the left heel and step down. So you have the strong connection through your core. You're pressing through your forearms, and you're opening up the backs of the legs and including that calf muscle and Achilles tendon in this stretch. And for more stretch, you just step a little bit further forward. For less stretch, maybe you step back. Find to come out of this in between, or moving right on, let's go to the left side. Take your left leg, reach it up. Reach back through the inner thighs. Squeeze the elbows towards each other. Feel if you can get lighter through your shoulder joints and relax your neck. Shake your head out, yes and no. Deepen your breath. Feel for broadening across the back of the heart. Squeeze your elbows towards each other. Exhale, hook first toe and second toe around right heel and gently step down. Pull belly in and lift your sit bones up at the same time that you root the heel down. Do both of those moves. You'll get a little more stretch if you need it. And release, step down, bring your knees down, come into downward facing dog. From downward dog, step your right foot forward into warrior one. First warrior, clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, fold forward, humble warrior. You're resting to the inside of the thigh. If you can, find to rest on top of the thigh if that feels better. Roll out your shoulders. Shake your head out, yes and no. Really root into the outer edge of the back foot. The back foot acts like a lever back there. And then you can roll your shoulders up away from your ears. And then that creates more space to maybe be able to bring your arms further forward. Deepen your breath. Let your head hang. Release your hands back by your sacrum, then put your left hand down on the left side of the mat. Keep your legs in a warrior position if you can. We're going into a twist. You might want to pick the back heel up. That might make it feel better on your body, but if you have a little more flexibility and room to move, the pose is this from this angle, so you're opening up your chest. And what's interesting about it to me is that your right shin is moving forward at the same time that your right hip is drawing back. And then you get to open and spin your rib cage. So it is a hip opener, a twist at the same time that it's a chest opener too. So breathing into front of your chest. We were just working the upper back and the shoulders. Now you got chest, collarbone spreading wide. Deepen the bend in your front hip, front knee, and draw your right hip back. Release, put your hands down to the inside of your front foot. Now pick the back heel up if you haven't already. You can put your back knee down to orient. Going into lizard here. So you have some options. You could stay right here. You could bring one forearm down. It would be the outside forearm first. And to help things, you could use a block
and put the forearm on the block, maybe both forearms on the block. Another thing to add would be tucking the back toes under and reaching back through the back leg. Staying here, you can, if the back knee is up, you're going to reach back through the back heel, forward through the front shin. This can create a lot more opening through the hips this way by creating the muscular action, or you could allow your body to rest without muscular action to sink into the joints a little bit. Feel what feels better on your body. Both options can work at different times and you can use them concurrently. All right, from here, you're gonna step back and come into plank. From plank, lower down to the mat, reach back, clasp your hands behind your back, lift your feet, lift your hands, lift your heart, drag shoulders down, open up chest and heart. Exhale, come down and head on back to downward facing dog. Warrior one, set up with your left foot forward, back heel down, your feet hip distance apart, clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Shake your head out, yes and no. Just let your shoulders find their way. Maybe you want to shimmy them a little bit, or like last time, drag the shoulders up away from your ears and then bring the arms further forward. And breathe here. Really press into the outer edge of your back foot. Release the hands to the mat. Your right hand way over to the right side. And give yourself some room for this twist and hip opener. Deepen the bend in your front knee and twist open. So left knee and left shin are moving in that direction. Left hip is moving back at the same time. Can you get a deeper breath into the front of your chest here? And release. Your hands down, back knee down to orient for lizard. Maybe your forearms come onto block, maybe they come down onto the floor. Maybe your back knee comes back up once you're settled. And you can combine knee up or down, forearms up or down, or one forearm or block. From here, we're going to step back and come to all fours. Let's work the upper back with a turbo dog. So this is adding a little turbo to your downward facing dog. It's a bent arm downward facing dog. To turn on your pecs, your serratus anterior, those are the muscles that draw your shoulder blades down away from the ears and then send your elbows towards the mat as you bend. So bend the elbows, shoulders away from the ears, elbows towards the earth, and squeeze them in towards each other. Keep all of that and lift your hips. So you should feel a broadening and a strengthening of your upper back. It creates stability, and it can be challenging to find if you don't have yet
Like when I first met this, I would quiver a lot in this pose because it was turning on muscles that I didn't really ever use. Those shoulder blade muscles that draw the shoulder blades away from the ear and wrap them away from the spine, that's the serratus anterior. All right, from there, you're gonna bring your right foot forward into warrior two. Warrior two, eagle arms. Take your right elbow on top of the left. Lift the elbows up to shoulder height, move your arms forward and up, creating space at the back of your heart. If it's hard to do this, put your hands on your shoulders and do this, okay? Relax, shoulders down, and breathe into your upper back. Pull the front ribs in towards your back body. Belly in, lengthen your back. Spread the bones of your feet a little bit more. So you're really supporting yourself with your legs. Legs are very active. So from here, you have options. We're gonna fold forward. You can fold right from here with the arms like this, or lose the arms, put the hands down. If it feels better to take your body towards the front foot, do that. You have to have your strong legs going to get the most out of this, because otherwise it feels kind of crappy in the upper body. All right, from here, release the arms and walk the hands back. Your head's gonna come down, your arms are walking back, and breathe here. Legs are still in warrior two, feel that. And then release. Walk your hands forward, turn all 10 toes to point towards this long edge of your mat, and make sure your feet are on one line so you don't have one foot forward of the other. Walk your hands to your left leg, your back leg. You're gonna grab onto it and twist and arc away from that leg. You can soften and bend your knees and shift your weight forward of the heels. And you can stay here. This is a great flank stretch, or you can turn this into a twist. This is my left leg. I'm twisting away from it. I'm looking underneath my right arm. I'm gonna take my left arm over to the right thigh and take a twist. If this isn't accessible, taking a strap around this leg and grabbing onto the strap might help. All right, release from there. Walk your hands all the way back up to the front of your mat. Step back, lay down on your belly. Boat with some shoulder shrugs. So variation to create a little more space in the upper back. Your hands, palms facing the earth. They're gonna lift up. You can keep your feet down or lift the feet up. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze the upper, middle, and lower parts of your shoulder blades together and draw everything down. So it's just a shoulder shrug. Inhaling, roll it from the upper, the middle to the lower and down. Inhale, breathe again. Exhale, roll it on down. Do another one. And then come down and back to downward facing dog. Step your left foot forward into warrior two with eagle arms. Left elbow on top of the right. Nice deep bend into your front knee. Lift the elbows up to shoulder height. Smooth out your breath. Really feel how much deeper you've gotten into your hips and into the space around your heart. Especially if you've been sitting a lot and sitting at a computer, this kind of sequence can get into some tight stuff. So, you know, you want to like figure out what is the best
place and the best variation for your body every day. So you don't always just go to the extreme. You're going to exhale, fold forward. You might lose the arms, just put the hands down, or you might enjoy having the arms stay here. Breathe into the back of your heart. Now release and walk your hands through. Release, walk your hands all the way over to your right leg this time. Arc your ribs away from that leg, and you can take several breaths here in flank stretch, or you could add on the twist. Soften your knees as needed. If you're flexible like I am through the hamstrings, you actually need to have the knees a little bit bent and lean slightly forward. All right, release, unwind. Walk your hands back, come down onto your belly. Bring your forearm, your left forearm in front of you, right underneath your chest and your collarbones. Bend your right knee, grab onto your right foot. You're going to kick back through the foot and use your left forearm to pull your chest forward. Press your pubic bone more into the mat and lengthen your sit bones back. To add a little support for the lower back, you might tuck left toes under and reach back through the left heel, or that might not feel good. Don't do it. So the right leg is kicking back to open up right side of chest. Your left forearm is pulling backwards towards the back of the mat to open up your spine and send your chest and your heart forward. Second side, bring right forearm across. Take your left hand to the left foot. Kick back and pull chest forward. Release. Hands down. Press back to downward facing dog. All right. Step your right foot forward. Pad your back knee. You can fold over the left side of the mat to do that. And you have some options. You can stay here in the lunge back bend, hands on the hips, elbows towards each other, pulling the belly in, lifting the chest. You can come back here. You could have your hands back here, fingertips down. You could grab a hold of your back foot. From here, we're coming into lounge lunge. You'll walk here's my left hand right underneath my left shoulder. I'm going to walk it forward and then out to the side and take my left rib cage towards the hand and turn open from this angle. Looks like this. I'm going to hold the back foot and open the chest. Release. We're going into pigeon back bend, not a forward folding pigeon. If you want to do a forward folding pigeon, just don't go too deep into any of their back bends. Pigeon back bend. You're a little more buoyant, pressing the shin into the mat. You can grab the block and put it underneath your hip or a pillow underneath there, and you walk your fingertips back and you open the chest. You can also use a hand for support, and then one hand can come back. That's the option that feels good to me today. But like, you might not know until you try. I didn't know that this is what I was going to want to do. I thought I was going to have my hands back, but that didn't really work today for my body. So what I'm doing is bringing this foot in. If you're here, you're going to bring that left shoulder and left side of chest forward and really press into the front shin and send your sit bones towards each other so that pelvic floor is really drawing in. It's not tight. Your outer hips are firming in towards the midline. That's really the best way to think of it. So it's not like a sprawled out kind of laying on the floor, opening up the hips pigeon, but more drawing up from your bootstraps, lifting up. Let's go right over to the second side. So pad the knee, left foot forward. Hips can sink, hands on the outer hips firming inward. Everything in towards midline. Lift chest. Hands can come down if that feels good. Track your back on that because you don't have a lot of support. With the hands on the back, you have support. And if you want a quad stretch here, add that in. Lounge lunge. Walk your right hand forward and out. Send right ribs towards the hand. Okay, you can grab the back foot and open up if that feels good or not. Any stage here. Tracking your wrist. If you don't want to be on the wrist, you can always come down onto a forearm. Actually, forearm feels pretty good. All right, pigeon. Grabbing a hold of the back foot, you're bringing your chest forward. Release, nice and slow. Come on back to all fours. So moving right into tabletop for a brief moment. Really firm your base. Shins are hip distance apart, your hands are shoulder distance apart. You're going to lift the left arm and the right leg. You're going to bend the right knee, reach back, grab a hold of the foot, kick back, open chest. And you can open up your heart forward. Draw the right arm bone back and your collarbones move forward. Release that. Second side. Left arm, right leg. Grab a hold of the foot, kick back, open chest. release, and come into downward facing dog. All right, from here you're gonna find your way to your feet, and you have an option to use a yoga strap if you want. This is Dancer, and you can do this with a strap or not. I like to use a strap just because it gives an even shoulder opening, but it's not the only way to do this pose. So you make a loop with your strap, and you take the loop across your foot, or take right hand to your right foot and you'll kick back. If you have the strap, what's great about it, you can see from the front, both of my elbows are going to move forward, and that's much more like a back bend, this, right, than this. Yeah, that's extreme, but that's how it's often what happens, is that if you take this to its extreme, this hip goes out and it goes way out, which you can see from the front is not back bend alignment. You want your hips and your shoulders in one line, yeah? I mean, it's half a back bend. It's not that it's bad. It's just a different way to practice. So you choose strap or no, 5 breaths each side, Dancer pose. And if you are experiencing balance issues, you can lean into a wall. The foot that's going to go into the back bend is away from the wall, and I'm against the wall. That's kind of nice, because then you don't have to worry about the balance at all. All right, let's try the second side. There was a time in my life when I could reach my foot. I don't know if I can still do that. Nope. Okay, finish up. And we're gonna unwind the lower back. Come into horse stance, separate your feet, bend your knees. Your heels are in, toes are out. Take a breath here. And exhale, take a twist. Come back through center, then twist the other way. Come back to center, side bend. Second side. Straighten the legs, turn the toes forward, fold forward. Hands come to the mat. Anywhere, any way that you wanna, you can hold on to your ankles, hold on to the backs of the legs or the feet, or not. You can have your hands between the legs. Let's come on out of that. You can walk your feet together, have a seat on the mat, and send your legs out in front of you. We'll start with a seated spinal twist. Bring the right foot in, right hand behind you. Inhale your left arm up. And exhale into your twist. You can bring the arm to the outside of the thigh, or you might hug around the front of the shin. Relax your shoulders down. Move your right sit bone and right butt down, and then slightly forward. Release. Open that knee out to the side. Inhale, reach arms up. And exhale, come forward. You can use a strap. You could use a block. You could bend the knee. You don't have to come down very far. You want to have a long, long spine. So you're hinging forward at the hips. What that means is your chest is moving towards the foot, or your belly's going to hit the thigh first. It's not a rounded back. All right, release. Let's do the twist on the other side. Left hand behind you, left foot in. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, twist. Release the knee out to the side. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Release, come on up, bring the soles of feet together into Baddha Konasana. So right where we started in Baddha Kon, you're gonna come forward, walk your hands into whatever forward fold you have here. Use a block if you need to. Block can be really helpful. It's very comforting to the body to rest the forehead on something. Okay, come on up out of that. And you can choose to sit in Baddha Konasana or a cross-legged seat, or you could stack one shin on top of the other. So put your hands on your chest, on one side of your chest. You just pick which side, and you're going to lean away from it. So you'll probably feel a little bit of SCM, and then you can get a little bit deeper. That's the sternocleidomastoid muscle that comes from the hinge of your jaw, back there in the back of the neck and all the way down and attaches here. So it's a pretty long muscle and it can get really tight. And you're gently stretching both ends of the muscle here. And let it feel good and explore, pulling the chest and the pecs out or down. Find a good spot. Also, the twist of your head slightly can encourage a little more stretch or a different stretch. And instead of coming right back up from the side bend, bring your head around and take a gentle bow forward and just wash breath through the back of your neck. And you can help your head up, put one hand on the forehead and pick your head up. Keep that hand on the forehead, take your other hand on the occiput. So the base of your skull, and you're gonna send your hands energetically towards each other and up, and relax your jaw. It should feel really good. Feel the uplift in the spine. This is optimal posture. And then release that. Change the cross of your legs. Other leg goes on top. And go to your other side. Hands on your chest, lean into it. Feel if there's a difference here. Deepening your breath, just allowing for this time to find where you can let go. Maybe even giving yourself a little massage here. And then letting your head hang forward. And washing breath through the back of your neck. Chest is still lifted, just a gentle bow. And then pick your head up. And take a moment, roll the shoulders up, back and around. And you can put your fingertips on your jaw and give it a little massage. And you can do a similar lift to last time. This time, my hands are here on the sides of my head. My thumbs are right at the base of here's the occiput at the base of the skull, the top of the neck there. You go to the sides, right in the outer groove of the neck. And you're kind of lifting your head up. Relax your jaw. Bottom jaw goes flat. And release. Lay down on your back. So we're going to move towards Shavasana. And you'll lay down on your back in Happy Baby to start, and then you can go into a twist. Twist of your choice. And then take rest.